And welcome. We are live. Everyone, how are you this evening? With Madam President of Rentals, Branka Stankovic.
Hello,
How are you,
everyone.
Branka?
I'm great.
Good. Guys and girls, Branka was awarded in the country as #1 property manager according to realestate.com.au. And it's very easy to get live a salesperson.
That's right.
A property manager, very hard. And Branka wants to share with you tonight her trials, tribulations, experience, shortcuts of what we've learnt in the rental market the last 16 weeks. She's actually got the most amount of notes that I've ever seen by doing a live, and it's a tribute to property management versus sales, where salespeople balls it and a property manager is very well equipped.
You know how you asked me once what you do here, Branka, in a Novak?
Yep.
And my answer always was, I can do anything. I can work on reception. I can do leasing. I can do accounts. I can do property management, but I cannot do sales.
Yes, I remember that.
I think, and I did try all these other avenues in a real estate, but not sales.
Not sales. How long in property management now?
Oh, I started first in leasing, then I was in the property management for a year.
Yep.
And then I went to accounts and stayed there for 3 years. And
Yes.
now is 6 years, over 6 years in a property management. Yeah.
And
And I wouldn't change it.
and you
I wouldn't change.
wouldn't change a thing.
No.
What do you want to talk about tonight?
Oh, in the property management, we can talk about everything and anything, but 2020 is a very challenging year.
Yep.
I believe for every business, not just in real estate, and in every avenue of real estate, and for whole world, not just for Australia. We waited for 2020 and thought it's going to be best year, but it started with fire, then started with flood, and now with pandemic. And we are already half a year, and we are still acting in a surviving mode and not knowing what to expect till end of this year.
Yep.
But
Feels like we're in God's hands a little bit.
not sure what's happening, but it is reality. It's reality. But one thing we all learn through this, and we learn what is essential and what is most important for us: food, shelter, and surrounding ourselves with supportive people. Thanks to supportive people supporting our business, we have survived, and we have kept our door open for all our clients, all our tenants, owners, vendors, buyers, and we will keep our doors open in the future, and as much as we can, as long as our community is supporting us. And we always say, please support our community, please buy your food in the local shops.
Local.
That's right, because most of us in Novaks are local people as well, and most of us lives here,
Yep.
around here. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. And if you are tenant, if you are owner or vendor, we are here to support you, to protect you, your assets, and to guide you to find suitable home.
So Branka, just some short, sharp questions that I know that we're getting asked most by landlords out there. It seems that there has been a trend for landlords to accommodate tenants and reduce rents. how have you and the team been doing that? Has it been systematic where you've gone across all properties and said that's the percentage for 12 weeks? Has it been case by case? Is there a wrong? Is there a right?
It's not. It's just supporting each other. And I have to tell you, I already told this story before. I had my owner calling me, and because we usually say landlord and all that, and he said to me, please don't call me landlord. When you say landlord, it's mean I am some big person who is sitting on a barrel full of money and not sharing with anyone. Yeah, no.
A lord.
A lord.
A lord, a king, a queen, a lord. I get it.
That's right. And unfortunately, it's not many people like that. Most of our owners are investors who invested their money and are trying to survive and to pay their mortgages and protect their assets as much as they can. And we are here to support them. Same is with tenants.
I guess you could say, Branka, that there's no real reason why a landlord would be wealthier than a tenant or a tenant wealthier than a landlord. They're all on equal parts. So
that's true.
When you say landlord, you're sort of empowering them as richer. When you say tenant, you're putting them on a level average basis, a median, right? And when you use a word like lord, you're above the median. So yeah, it's pretty clever. As an industry, we should probably be looking at that, because your tenants are just as powerful as your landlords. They're people.
That's right.
Interesting.
That's
interesting.
right.
Interesting.
That's right. But we are mediating between owners and tenants and helping each other as much as is possible. There is a rental deferral. There is a rental reduction where is possible. Same what government announced for everyone. That's what we are doing.
Yep. So no standard. There's been no standard across the board for tenants.
It's not, because it's depend of the property, depend of owner's status, depend of tenant status, and that's how it is.
If I could be broad stroked with it, we manage 15 to 1600 landlords, 15 to 1600 tenants, of which there's husband, wives, and partners and things like that. So there's probably 5,000 people we're dealing with here. What's been the average amount of rent that you've discounted, if you had to? Well, let me ask you this way. Out of those 1,500, how many got a discount?
Not many, thanks to government keeping job seekers and job keepers.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
and
our tenants know what is essential, and they know that they need to pay for their food and their shelters.
50 tenants, 100 tenants?
Maybe up to 50. That's a maximum.
So we're sitting at 50. We're less than we're way less than 5% even.
That's right.
Which is an interesting number. That's an interesting number. So guys and girls, that's a great number. Now, the amount of money those 5% got a discount of, were they at half rent? Were they at 20% off rent?
No, it's just a small percentage. Very small percentage. Example, if you're talking about a property that is over $1,000 per week,
yes,
it would be that comes just under
my head's very big on the film, Branka. I just realised my head's oversized. Yeah, sorry.
It's just over 1,000. What would be just like a 10%? That is
about 10% off on the rent.
That's right.
All right. So 10% off the rent was about the number, only for about 5% of our tenants.
Yes.
How long did they get this discount for?
Most it was 2 to 3 months, and that's all. Because lots of people actually changed, they adjusted. I had a tenant who lost a job and they say, I cannot pay now. Can I have a rent reduction? This is what I can pay for 2 months. But then after months, they came back and say, hey, I got a job in another industry and I can pay and I would like to stay in my property. What is great. And this is amazing. That's what I personally like about people, good people, honest people. They are not using this situation and they're not benefiting. No, and they're not benefiting from it. What is amazing.
Well, something that's come out of COVID, what I've realised is we've developed a point system with tenants or a grade system with tenants, where I think that if you were fortunate to be consistently unaffected with your rental payments, I can't help but to think that a landlord's going to treat those tenants as a class 1 or a grade A tenant. So when they move out of a property in 2 or 3 or 5 or 1 year's time, I think a landlord would say, what do their rental payments look like?
Yep.
Now, technically they can't make a decision on that, just like a bank can't make a decision if you ask for a mortgage deferment, but I'm sure it actually helps. So would you agree?
Yep. Yeah. That's true because
we're treading on dangerous waters, guys.
You can say that you're a great tenant, that you're not doing anything wrong, that actually your real estate agent didn't like you or whatever, but then your ledger speaks for you.
Yeah.
And ledger's not...
The ledger doesn't lie.
That's right.
So at the end of the day, your ledger's going to go into the hands of your new agent, maybe even a bank to get a loan.
That's right.
And the ledger looks sexy.
It's clean.
And you look as a tenant sexy.
Problem. That's right.
Now, if it does not look sexy, that's okay as well, providing you've got a compelling excuse like JobKeeper, you've qualified for JobKeeper, you lost your job, stuff like that. It's going to be okay. But let's face it, if you're a class A, class 1 tenant, your ledger looks immaculate.
That's right. And the pattern of your payments is there. You can say that you had a problem with job, you lost a job or whatever. There is again a pattern if you are paying constantly same amount or not. You cannot blame and say, oh, I didn't have a job and you're not paying anything, because we all know that there is a JobKeeper or job seeker. It is government help there, and then you can pay something.
Okay. Now, if you've just tuned in, guys and girls, most experienced property manager, one of the most experienced property managers in the country right here at Novak, Branka Stankovic. If you've got any questions, shoot them out. I'm going to read them and ask Branka for you live. If there's anything that's popping in your head or bugging you with that rental market. Branka, with what's been happening with rentals in that period, what's your biggest takeaway of what you've learned as a career property manager? What is the what's the lesson out of all this?
It's just to work with people. Communication. Communication is a big key. Communication is most important. Talk to people, talk to your landlords, talk to your tenants, be open with them and find out what's the real situation. Just communication.
Transparency. Let's move over here. Margaret Matthews. Branka managed to secure tenants offering 3 to 6 months rent up front without a rental reduction. Landlords, we're so happy. We're so happy. James, g'day. Alistair Flower, hi. Nikki Parker, hello. Lisa Novak, g'day. All right. Now, it does seem that in the industry, there seemed to be these are probably leading questions, but there seemed to be a way that the industry, like something that I noticed about JobKeeper with the government is it sort of was a bit of a shotgun effect where a lot of people benefited that didn't particularly, fields or didn't, they qualified, but they didn't really, they may be getting a part-time job. Next thing you know, they're getting $750 a week. Sorry, permanent part-time job. Next thing you know, they're getting $750 a week. With rental payments, Do you feel that was like, was it fairly done as an industry? Did you feel like the government sort of covered that well? Because I not this particular part, I won't make a comment, but I think our government's done a great job at managing through COVID and the epidemic and doing it really quick. But with residential rentals, do you think it could have been handled, if you had your time again, would you handle it any differently? Do you think that, or should the government have?
You know what? I'm as you know, English is my second language, and now
I didn't realise. No,
I know.
You've got an accent.
So
I thought that's your DY accent.
So, and when the government came out and said about a moratorium, about a deferral, about all these things,
yes.
And then when you are watching that all as a just ordinary citizen,
yeah.
That's a big word that is being used, and I don't think this is what we find out.
Yep.
In the industry, people didn't understand what that actually means. And I do understand that. And like if you take me and Cleo next to each other, another property manager,
yep.
Cleo will understand that straight away, no problem. She can translate that to you in any ways, But as I said, English is my second language. I had to think what really that mean and where I stand with that.
Yeah.
With all that words, and it's the same with our tenants. Lots of them
because a lot of immigrants, DY, they really struggled. So they looked to newspapers.
Yeah.
Friends,
that's right. And everyone translated things differently.
Yeah, wow.
And some of them say, oh, don't worry, this is a moratorium, you don't need to worry, you cannot pay your rent.
Stop paying your rent.
Yeah, they cannot kick you out, it's fine, because government said, I saw on TV.
Yeah.
But then when you translate that, really what government said, how they said it, oh, a landlord can do this, landlord can do that. They can have a land tax reduction. They can have some benefits from a government on their bills and things like that. And tenants are asking why they're not passing that on us. Like if my landlord can have some benefit not paying his bills or not paying his mortgage, why is that not passed on me?
Yeah.
But then actually when you really hear how bank said and what it's saying is actually capitalizing the interest.
Well, the banks didn't give away 1 red cent.
That's right.
Landlords did.
That's right. And then, but when you hear all this on the beginning, you think, oh, okay, I cannot pay 6 months rent because my landlord is not paying a mortgage. It's okay.
Okay. So
I think that's the only, everything else government done great. I cannot say, supporting all citizens and everything. It's great. But that, I think just that communication, how they communicated that, they couldn't use it little bit different explanation.
Very interesting. Now, question I got for you: commercial, residential,
different.
How was it different in property management from your experience in the last 16 weeks?
It's different because when in a residential, if you cannot pay your rent, you just come and say, guys, I cannot pay my rent. What my landlord can do for me is all right if I move out earlier and I'll pay advertising or I'll pay just this, and I cannot afford it. I'm moving to Central Coast.
Yes.
Because I cannot afford here 2-bedroom unit for 600, 650 per week, but I can rent in Central Coast something else. For that money I can have a house.
And you can do it pretty quick.
That's right.
Bang, bang. Yeah. One weekend to the next, you moved.
Yeah, you just have to call New South Wales Services, change your driver's license address, call a bank and change address, and that's it. Yep. Off you go. Till in a commercial is different. it's a businesses, it's a name, it's a whole life of some people. You know, some restaurants are there for 10, 15, 20 years.
And their doors are shut.
Businesses owned by whole family,
Yeah.
you know, from generations and generations, and then suddenly doors are closed. There is no business, there is not money, there is not any kind of turnover. You know, they cannot just close and disappear and open somewhere else. You know,
Yeah.
it's not possible.
With your tenant profiles and your landlord profiles, who were the most successful out of these transactions? So I'll give you an example. Is there a type of tenant that you thought, what a clever tenant, what a great way they approached this situation, they got the most out of this? I'm going to ask you the same question with the landlord in a second, but with the tenant, what was the best conduct or way that a tenant held themselves and their dealings with the landlord?
Again, it is communication with landlord, and find out how they can support each other and what they can do for each other. You know, we have a landlords who they can afford to give to their commercial tenants or a month, 2 months, or 3 months rent period free.
Yeah.
You know, or to do to have a look what's their turnover and do the rent reduction on their loss. That's with commercial tenants. With the residentials, again, if you have a long-term tenant who is at the property looking after place and paying rent on time and has been great, of course landlord will help as much as can.
So length helped a little bit, how long they've been at the property for, one, loyalty with landlords.
That's right. That's right.
Let's see what other questions we've got here tonight. Kidley Winks. Has g'day to you. Jet, g'day to you. Ty, g'day to you. Tendril Liquor, g'day. Vanessa, how are you? Fabulous Cleaning. Fort Media Shad, how are you, buddy? Wow, big audience tonight on Insta. And that's it. Okay, great. So Branka, on finishing up, what's going to happen this year? What's going to happen with rentals this year? What's your punt?
We will survive. We will survive.
Says the survivor.
That's right. And if you take in consideration that in April, when we thought that is worst month in a pandemic way, when people was all in a panic, don't know what to do, what is next, is this gonna stay, for how long it will stay, is this just something that will be for a week or so and then everything will be normal and back to normal. From April till today, we rented 183 properties, and that's a fact. April, May, June, that's a 3 months, 183 property.
Shit.
And I'm not making up. That's
you printed it.
I printed out.
We rented 183 residential properties.
That's right.
It's been busy. So a real obvious question or an answer that you've just given is shit getting rented out? Is stuff actually getting rented, or is stuff vacant? Are landlords dealing with vacant properties? It sounds like they're not at Novak. It sounds like that number of 80. Well, you know what? No one's really got a reference of what 183 means. I do.
Yeah.
So can you give us an example? Is that a high number? Is that a low number? That's, to me, that's 60 properties a month.
Yeah.
Is that big?
It's a great number. It's a great number. We got lots of new managements. The landlords were managing themselves, and they needed the help of professionals.
Interesting one.
Yeah.
I love that one. So a lot of landlords.
Are we touching very?
A lot of landlords came home to Daddy. A lot of landlords came home. So that's good. So we onboarded a lot of landlords.
That's right. That's right. Then also tenants that haven't been on lease, fixed lease term, they cannot pay current rent that they are going, they downsizing, they're changing. And then, yeah, that's another number that we got.
Yep.
Not just the new properties, also tenants on a continuation lease, changing, going to smaller properties, downsizing.
And even some going to bigger properties. Some were working from home, so they wanted more of a home.
That's right, because that's again lifestyle changed, and you know, we have not need to rent offices anymore if we can have an office at home. Yeah, that's a great number.
So that's a pumping number, guys. So anyone out there wants to know if properties are not getting rented? No, they're all getting rented fast. It's been an explosive 3 months for us in terms of the amount of properties that we've leased. Absolutely explosive. What about the amount they're getting leased for?
They're good. They're good. If we having 2-bedroom units between 500 to 700.
Yep.
Of course, it depends. You know, you have a 2-bedroom with 1 bathroom and a car space. You have a 2-bedroom with 2 bathrooms and 2 car space, or lock-up garage and all that. Condition of the property, position, and the price
matters. So would you say, compared to this time last year, rents are up 5%, down 5%, same, down 10%, 20%? What do you reckon?
For winter time is always slower than summertime and all that.
In this
time, that's right. In this time, winter time, it shows that it's great, but price is a little bit lower than what was the last year. But then vacancy is less.
Okay.
You know, and that's where you get. If you have a property vacant for 3 weeks, doesn't matter if you're renting and waiting to get $600,
you're not going to get it.
You cannot recruit it.
Okay. Have vacancies been a problem through COVID?
No. We proved that it's not. It's not. We have a great team. We have dedicated people, you know, that working in this industry, and as everyone knows, we are most awarded agency in Australia, thanks to all our clients that trusted us and supported us through all these years, and our dedication has been proven through awards achieved by our staff. We have
Lisa Novak just won Innovative Woman of the Year.
Lucky you.
Hey, lucky me. I got a fresh wife every day. She's brand new.
That's right. Almost like a new wife.
Innovative. She innovates every day.
You never know.
She has a shower every day. Yeah.
Then we have a best sales agent, Angela
Gutsios, number 1 in DY. Hey, how's this for a figure? How's this for a figure? Sydney CBD, 400 sales. DY, 500 sales the last 12 months.
You see?
DY is bigger than the Sydney CBD with volume of unit sales. And Angelo Gutsios, number 1.
DY is going to be very soon city.
It is, or it is, with volumes there it is.
That's right. Myself, as a property manager of the year as well. And all this we achieved, and all these awards, we got it under guidance of Mark Novak, Master in Real Estate.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you to
putting up with us all.
You're the best, Branks. Can you tell Lisa I'm the master of real estate? Just use that word. Master. Master's a great word.
Lisa and I sitting in the different corners. It's okay, I can say.
Branks, thank you so much, guys. Hopefully we enlighten you on this real estate show tonight about rentals, property management. If you've ever been wondering, that's what we're experiencing. Branka, at the head of property management, what she's experienced. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Branka's got a family at home. She's here at 8:30 at night, focusing on helping people. So really appreciate it, dude. The best.
Thank you.
Guys,
Thank you.
have a beautiful night. If this can help any of your friends or family, share it. Tap their name into comments; they'll get it automatically. And you know what? It's I reckon it's up and up. I reckon it's only going to get easier. I'm not going to say easy, but easier in the next 3, 6, 9, 12 months ahead, providing we can keep that curve down.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Brunks. Love you
Thank
guys.
you.
See ya. Take care. Bye.